You ever notice how everyone seems to be sprinting towards success, but no one can actually agree on what it is? One person says success is a 7-figure business, luxury vacations, and biohacking their way into immortality. Another person says it's living off the grid, growing kale, meditating at sunrise, and not owning a single pair of real pants. And then there's us, caught somewhere in the middle, hustling, healing, second-guessing, overthinking, wondering if we're doing it wrong because neither version of success actually feels like ours. Let's talk about that messy middle, the space where ambition meets authenticity and success starts to look a lot less like an image and more like a feeling. This one's for the high achievers who secretly feel like they're climbing someone else's mountain. Let's come back home to what we actually want. But first, hi. Welcome to the Wolverine Lifestyle Podcast, where personal growth meets deep thought and introspection. I am your host, Dylan Andres, and in this episode, we are exploring my personal journey through the journal prompt, Redefining Success. How do you define success? Is it aligned with your true values and desires? And if it's not, how are you redefining it? Once upon a time, my definition of success was, let's say, predictable. Fancy car, big house, stacked bank account, chiseled physique. It was the standard vision that so many of us unconsciously absorb. Not because we chose it, but because we thought we should. That version of success isn't inherently bad, but it wasn't mine. And I didn't know that for a long time. Here's the thing. We're raised in a culture that constantly defines success for us before we even have a chance to ask what it actually means to us. School teaches us to chase grades. Society teaches us to chase status. Instagram teaches us to chase aesthetics. And before we know it, we're adults pursuing dreams we don't even recognize. Question for you. Where did your current definition of success come from? Was it inherited, expected, or chosen? It's wild how easy it is to get stuck in performative success, doing what looks good on paper, even when it feels hollow. And for high performers especially, that kind of success becomes a mask. We're so good at doing what we think we're supposed to do that we forgot to check in and ask, is this even what I want to do? Eventually, I hit burnout. The old vision stopped making sense. So I did what many of us do. I swung hard to the left, the opposite direction. I started dreaming of a minimalistic life in the woods, selling everything off, living off the land, partnered up, barefoot, journaling under the stars. Sounds poetic, right? And in many ways, it was beautiful. It felt more real. But here's the truth. That vision didn't fit either. And here's why. I was still chasing someone else's idea of what it means to be successful. Just a different flavor of it. This one came with crystals instead of credit scores, and shame for still wanting money. Have you ever felt judged for wanting more? Because I sure know that I have. If you're in the spiritual world, you know exactly what I mean. There's this unspoken idea that wanting abundance somehow makes you less enlightened. And if you're in the hustle world, wanting rest, connection, and fulfillment makes you look like you've gone soft. It wasn't until I stepped outside of both of those worlds where I started asking the real questions. What if I didn't have to choose between ambition and alignment? What if I'm allowed to want both? Isn't that a strange thought? This breakthrough came when I stopped comparing and I started listening, feeling into these things. I asked myself, what experience do I want to be having in life? Not what should I want, not what do others expect of me, not what would look impressive online, just what do I want to feel? That question cracked something open. It gave me permission to be honest about wanting financial freedom without selling my soul, about craving impact and intimacy, about desiring both solitude and community. Because the truth is, success isn't a fixed image. It's a felt experience. Studies in positive psychology support this. People who define success through intrinsic goals like growth, connection, and contribution report significantly higher life satisfaction than those who purely chase extrinsic ones like status, money, or appearance. This isn't just about mindset. It's about nervous system regulation. When you pursue what you actually want, your body stops bracing for impact. You stop living in fight or flight and start creating from a grounded place. Prompt for you. What experience do you want to be having when you wake up on a Tuesday morning? What emotions do you want to feel more of more often? This is where rubber meets the road for a lot of us. We want to do meaningful work, to help people, to live authentically. And we still want the freedom that money provides. But here's the internal conflict. In spiritual spaces, money can feel like the betrayal of our integrity. In high-performance spaces, rest can feel like a betrayal of ambition. That tension in the brain space is exhausting. So here's the reframe. You're allowed to be both soulful and strategic. You're allowed to want impact and income. The shame isn't coming from your desire. It's coming from the comparison of them. When I started owning my desires without apology, so much began to change. And that's exactly what I help my clients do. Get clear on what success actually looks and feels like for them. Untangle the shoulds from the wants and build confidence to pursue without burning out or selling out. Because most of us aren't afraid of failure. We're afraid of choosing wrong and being judged for it. Here's where we land this plane. Success isn't a static thing. It evolves as we evolve. It's okay for your old goals to stop fitting. That doesn't mean you were wrong. It means you grew, and that's what we're supposed to do. For me, success today looks like this. Waking up with peace in my chest. Doing work that feels aligned. Being emotionally available in my relationships. Having time to create, love, rest, and build. Next year, that might change, and that's okay. You're not flaky for redefining your desires. You're just finally listening. So give yourself the permission to pivot. And if you're in that in-between right now, you're not alone. We're walking that path together. So let's recap. Success defined by someone else will always feel like pressure. Shame exists at both ends of the spectrum, so choose your middle. Real success feels like peace, not just praise. You're allowed to want money, meaning, and more. Your desires are not selfish, they're sacred. If this episode cracked something open for you, here's your next step. Take 5 minutes today. No distractions, no noise, and just ask yourself this question and sit in it. What experience do I actually want to be having in my life? Write it down, sit with it, and let it guide you. And if you're tired of overthinking what success should look like and you're ready to start building what it could feel like, DM me the word realign on Instagram at coach.wolverine. Let's explore what that could look like for you together. As always, thank you for joining me for this episode of the Wolverine Lifestyle Podcast. If it resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with someone who needs the reminder that they don't have to shrink their dreams to fit someone else's definition of success. And if you're ready to take a step further into your own self-exploration journey, but on your own still, grab my free ebook, 30 Days to Know Yourself. The link will be in the show notes along with all of the other links to the rest of my socials and my resources. Until next time, remember, your path doesn't need to make sense to anyone else as long as it feels right to you.